Well, let's try this again because evidently my previous stream said I wasn't live, even though we were live on our dashboard. So let's see. Hopefully, this is cooperating because weird things. But let's check the channel and see what's going on. I guess I'll know if you guys are in the chat. Otherwise, things are being weird on YouTube today. I see people in the chat, so somebody's here. Okay. If you're here, say hello. Otherwise, this software is being weird tonight. I don't know why. All right, so let me go here. Hey, there are people here. Okay. All right, let me get my we were literally live backstage. And it didn't show live here. So let me get my guest links because I had to redo this thing because there's that. All right, so there's that. Sorry guys, technical difficulties on the interwebs. All right, there's that. I'm sending invites. All right, everybody's got invites. Anyways, yeah, so I was live and I was literally talking to people, and everybody goes, "We're not live," so that's kind of crazy. So there's that. Hey, look, there's one, there's two, there's three. There's some more peoples. Wait on the other guys to show up. Yeah, so I'll do this again.
Second time's a charm.
Second time's I have done this a lot, and I've never had that happen. That is crazy. All right, here's not such.
Oh shit! It does, Ryan. It actually did post that like minute or so of like you talking, and then us being like, "Wait, you're not actually live." It's on YouTube right now. I'm watching it. It's on.
There's just a really bad delay.
It was like a minute and a half long delay, but it's on there. Like right now you're talking, and now like Seamus is about to say you're not live,
and we're live.
See,
now we're live. It's working, everybody.
Oh, God.
Technology for the win.
I gave it a like anyway.
There you go. I changed Shane's name.
Oh no. I just changed it to Shane.
All right. So let me go ahead and kill this other one.
What's up, chat? How's
that
everybody doing?
Anyways, let's try this again. I don't know. So whatever.
Wow.
Internets, man. I whatever. Blame whatever. Blame somebody. Anyways,
Blame Brandon.
Let me try this again. Here, watch this. Hold on. I'm gonna put myself in the middle so I can be the moderator of said channel. All right. So over here we got Medic. You guys know him. Down we got Hatchet Man. We will talk more about that later. Over here we got Yes Man, who I think his main goal is to. I don't know what his main goal is tonight. We'll see how it plays out. Although I will tell you, he's got a lot of new light bulbs in the background. Sure, we'll talk about that. We got Brendan down there who's just trolling everybody. It's fair. And then we got Not Sideshow Support, otherwise known as Seamus, representing the DC.
World's number one Peacemaker fan.
I might be number 2 on the Peacemaker fan. We'll talk.
I started early.
Right. So, Mike, you got a bunch of Hue bulbs back there, and we were on Discord the other day. He goes, I'm something along the lines of I'm in love, or I'm gonna buy all of these, or something. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, so tell him what you got, Mike.
Yeah, no, I went to Lowe's and picked up a whole bunch of the Hue light bulbs, and of course they're totally overpriced, but obviously they're not because I bought them.
Grail.
What's that?
Grail.
Yeah, right.
They're the Grail of
each
light
individual
bulbs.
light bulb is a Grail. They are amazing. It's one of those things where you just sit there and you're like, there's no way to justify buying these, and then you buy them, and then you're like, okay, I need to get some more, and then you just think about how you can buy more of these light bulbs. So
True.
Definitely enabled.
Yeah. Then you got the light bulbs, then you got the light bars, and you got the light strips, and then they've got like the the lamp thing they've got.
Oh yeah, well, even like the smart switches where you can just turn things on with the same app. It's amazing.
Yeah, and you can set different moods, and it's pretty sweet. Yeah,
Mike likes to set moods.
Hey man, whatever you do in your basement is your deal. All right, ain't got nothing to do with me.
You guys in your basement.
He's just setting the tone to kill. He's just setting the tone to kill Brennan in Call of Duty. That's all that is. All right,
Right.
I literally have one online. I have one set to. I named it Mandalorian. On mine, I named it Mando. So it's like teal, orange, desert color kind of stuff. I've got them off right now, but yeah, Mando. You're not going to tell because of the camera settings, but yeah, I got them.
Yeah, but super easy to set up. Like truly one of the easiest processes. You just literally just screw them in. You hook up the little hub thing, press a button, it syncs everything up, and then it goes to your phone. You can control each individual light bulb. It's pretty amazing.
Not sponsored by Philips Hue. Although,
if they would like to,
anybody on the panel and buy us a lot of stuff, that would be awesome. You can definitely
email jettertroll@gmail.com.
Boom, right there.
So is like a massive stock of Philips Hue light bulbs the next purchase for your brother, Mike?
Oh my God!
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. He has to join the group.
It's a rite of passage. It's like you gotta prick your finger and do a blood thing, and you gotta get the lights. So tonight we're gonna talk about Grails. We're also gonna talk about some recent releases. I do want to maybe in about 10 minutes or so somewhere. I'm waiting on some more people to show up, but we've got a special offer for you guys tonight if you want to do that. We'll kind of get in that, but we do have we got Hatchet Man down there, and the reason for that, Shane, please explain yourself.
I don't do nothing wrong.
It's probably correct. He doesn't do anything wrong. It's his son.
I have my son play for me. There we go.
Right. Yeah.
I just talk in the background. You guys can't see me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're playing
Sure.
Call of Duty. We play Call of Duty on a somewhat nightly basis, and one of the game modes we play is Sticks and Stones, in which you have a crossbow and you have a hatchet. If you hatchet somebody, you set them back to 0 points, and then there you go. So Shane somehow only hatchets people. Well, or his son does. Who are you blaming?
Riley.
Hey, Shane, don't you have a representation of that as well in your collection?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yes.
Yeah. It's for Brendan.
Look. He hatches so much, he built a freaking figure with a crossbow and a hatchet.
See?
Rat bastard.
It's for you. It's in your honor.
No, I think that's pretty
See,
awesome.
the thing is, in our almost nightly game, there is kind of like a gentleman's rule. Like, you weren't really throwing a hatchet unless like you ran out of like arrows or you were about to get killed and it was like a last ditch survival thing. Then this rat bastard just comes in and he just starts leading with the hatchet, running around with the hatchet cocked and ready to go from the moment the game started. And then we just descended into anarchy. Then it was just everybody was just throwing hatchets left and right.
Right. Wait. And I promise you, I'm going to buy whatever I got to buy to stream that because it is quite entertaining.
It is.
And we'll do that sometime. Maybe we'll do like a weekend COD night or something. We'll do something. But
especially while we listen to Mike's brother Kevin, or we call Mike Light. Telling us about like asking us, should I buy this one? Should I buy? He's been collecting for about 13 seconds, and 14 seconds ago he was making fun of Mike for everything that he was collecting. Right now he's like buying everything that Jazz Inc. makes, and he's buying every Prime 1 statue, not just Hot Toys, like Prime 1 statues he can get his hands on, everything.
He didn't just dip his toe; he like cannonballed into the pool.
Well, we all go through a progression, right? You go from Funko to maybe like some small GI Joes to then maybe 6 scale, and then you work your way up to some quarter scale, maybe some statues. And then you eventually make it to like the 3rd scale statues. Now he just jumped right on in and got 3 3rd scale statues.
He's like a crackhead who won the lottery.
I don't have anything to display them on.
And ones that aren't like sold out in the secondary market's gone up on him. I'm like, so, hey, I'm for it, man. I just think
more power to him.
He was making fun of Mike, like before we went to Disney. I just think that's funny.
What's up, Leo?
What's
Leo's
up,
in the
brother?
house. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Hey, man. We got medics here. So we got all these people. So I didn't tell Leo the topic of discussions tonight. I just thought this would be interesting.
Mhm.
So the topic of discussion is going to be grails.
Mhm.
Do they exist? What qualifies? And the whole discussion, because everything is a grail, right? I went to the grocery store the other day. I bought a Reese's king size 4-pack grail. It was freaking awesome. I don't know, whatever it is, right? So we're going to talk about that. Before we do that, though, before we get into the grail discussion, something was released today. We got final product photos. So I do want to take 2 minutes to discuss this, if I can, because it is worthy of it. And the answer is, am I getting it? Yes, that's the answer.
Well, of course you are.
Yeah, I'm getting it. All right, so I'm going to, if I can, share the screen if I can do this properly. All right, let's go with this one.
Foiled by technology.
Okay.
Oh, there he goes.
So this was brought up today by Sideshow.
Really, Old Spice.
Is Terry
Oh, can you
Crews
hear
about
that?
to jump on screen and
But
yell at us or something?
that's my phone. I didn't know you could hear it.
Your ringtone is the Old Spice. Jesus Christ, Shane.
Also not sponsored by Old
Multiple.
Spice, but if you'd like to sponsor the channel, you're in.
gmail.com.
We'll take it.
Now you know what I use.
So the other week, Sancho put up a art print, which I did buy. I bought it on a Patreon Zoom meetup the last weekend or whatever. I bought it. I bought the framed one anyways, in anticipation of this. And so this went up. Lael, I already know you're getting this because it is. I already know that. So that's we're like this. We got this. What I don't know, while we're getting into this, there is a special 15% off code with Collector's Own on this piece. So it is less expensive than what you're seeing here on the screen. I don't remember what the code is, so I'm sure Marcos messaged it to me earlier.
Marcos, I'm still waiting on my 100% off code. Can you get on that, please?
Right. All right, so the code is, hold on, one last lesson. I'll put that on the screen for 15% off with Collector's Own. So I'll put this as one last lesson. 15% off with collectorsown.com. So there you go.
And for people who've never ordered through Marcos before, the price on the website is shipping and tax all included.
Correct.
It's not like it's jacked up price. And
That's
then
the out the door price to you.
Yeah. So, anyways, so this thing came up today, and I was unclear on what the scale of this thing was. So I messaged they who shall not be named. I messaged them on the live chat, and I was like, "Hey, can you tell me what scale it is?" And they were like,
it says
no.
it in the description.
No, it doesn't say what scale it is.
I swear, I could have sworn it said 6 scale.
No.
I hope it's 6 scale.
Hold on. I don't. I'm. Maybe they went back and fixed it because I can tell you right now, it didn't say it earlier.
Yeah, no, it wasn't there earlier because I also asked them the same thing and I got a different answer than you got.
Yeah, it's not there. So, because I was like, if they made it, the first answer I got from them was 10th scale. That was the first answer, and I was like, surely not 10th scale. That's Iron Studios space. They're not doing that, surely. So I went in here and I went to this piece right here, this diorama, this size chart, and I went like, this is centimeters, right here. So I went from like, there's a boot, let's call it 5-ish, all the way up here to about 35-ish, and I said 30 centimeters, it's got to be 6 scale. That's kind of the ballpark we came up with. Mike got told something different, which was
They told me quarter scale. I was like,
quarter
"That's
scale.
not
It is definitely not quarter scale. I have a lot of quarter scale pieces. That is no quarter scale piece. So it is. It appears to be 6 scale, and it appears to be. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to say this might be strong. Let me go back to the original photo here. I'll go to this one. This may be the best Clone Wars statue released to date. I'm gonna say it. So, Lael, what are your thoughts on this thing?
Oh no, I definitely can echo that because it's I mean I've first of all I didn't expect them to release a piece like this. So it kind of came out of nowhere. But it's definitely something that, grabbed my interest. I was a fan of that final season. I mean, this scene alone was probably the best scene of the entire series to me. One of the best scenes of the entire series. To see that, also to see how powerful and confident Ahsoka is now. So I love that. And yeah, like it was mainly a no-brainer for me to pull this trigger. As soon as I saw it, I was like, it's an amazing piece. It was beautiful. I was even wondering and hoping, to be quite honest, that it was 6 scale. And I was hoping that these could peg into the piece, like it's going to be something that you can peg into it. Because if it is, and this is 6 scale, that throne, if it is 6 scale, then you can also use the 6 scale Hot Toys Maul to put on that throne if you wanted to. So I was thinking about that as well. But that's only if they could, interchange and if that could be removed. But then again, like I said, I mean, it's just very strange that they didn't put the scale up. I don't know, and now it just keeps everybody guessing, so you don't know. But I like the way the the throne has the charred effects on it, so I do like that. But yeah, it's Clone Wars all day, so I was all in. It'd be interesting though also if this was 6 scale. I mean, considering the simple fact that we are getting both the Clone Wars Anakin and Obi-Wan, to see if something like that would work as a just companions next to it, just to pull something off if you could. But and again, like I said, you just create your own, even though it's not completely accurate to the show. I mean, who cares? But you know what I mean? It's definitely an amazing piece, man. And yeah, I was all in from day one. I couldn't wait till, they actually released it. Just for, or actually not released it, but revealed it and gave us a pre-order for it. So I was in from day one. Yeah.
There you go. So your answer is buy 2 of them, one for the diorama, one for the throne. 2.
I mean,
they got to be simple pieces.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they peg in. It would make sense if they did.
There you go. All right, my other Clone Wars guy, Mike. We were kind of talking about this earlier. I don't know if did you decide on this one, or are you on the fence?
So, I mean, I agree with Lael as far as it's one of my favorite scenes. I think I share a medic's opinion on this one, which is the pose that they chose makes it look a little too nutcracker, and the fact that they're completely in sync and she's jumping backwards, I don't like that. I would have liked the more aggressive stance for Ahsoka, but in this case, how can you not see the nutcracker in that?
It's a ballet.
All I see.
So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I just
cool.
Get it. It's a really good statue. I just they didn't need to turn it into a ballet. And but again,
they should have been jumping towards each other and not like the leap together.
Exactly.
I don't know, man.
The classical music
I dig
playing.
it.
The leading lines and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It has momentum going in one direction rather than both coming toward the same.
But going off leading lines, like leading lines are usually like of the same nature, same type, same character, good versus good. But this is like good versus evil, so usually those are opposite lines. So you want opposing forces with that. I mean, that's my standpoint with it.
That's cool. That's cool.
Like, I mean, it is a great statue. Don't get me wrong. Like, they did a really, really, really good job on it, which is something to be said. But I just can't get past the leap.
I think part of the, I mean, and I may be giving Sideshow too much credit on this, but I think part of the thing with him coming toward her and her going away though, is like his aggressive coming right in, and it mirrors. I remember what Dave Filoni was talking about, how fast people thought the final showdown with Kenobi and Maul was on Rebels, where he comes and it's like over before you know it. And the whole kind of thing was that it mirrored, if you looked at like the stance that Maul took, it was like the same stance that he had from when they fought in A Phantom Menace. And Obi-Wan had evolved and learned, and it was more, he had kind of more of a stance of like Qui-Gon, more kind of the master and waiting for him to come forward. And then he killed Maul because Maul didn't evolve, Maul didn't learn. And it's kind of like those similar styles in this, I think, where he's attacking and Ahsoka is letting him come in, kind of drawing him in, and and fending him off and beating him. So, I mean, again, I could be just giving Sideshow way too much credit in even thinking of that. But to me, that's where I like this.
Observation. That's very astute. I like this. I think they nailed the sculpt on Ahsoka and Maul.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That we haven't seen before. I mean, the Hot Toys one isn't that good. I don't think it's like the animated version, right? So because we're not getting that. And this Maul head sculpt looks straight off the season 7. I just think they did a good job.
Now, does this, Ryan? Does this give you hope that maybe in addition to the Obi-Wan and Anakin animated Clone Wars figures that Sideshow is doing, that they might do something like this? Or do you think because they did this, it means they're not going to do them in 6-scale figures?
I don't give them credit for anything that I have not seen with my own. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to take it as, like, I was afraid that it would be like smaller than 6-scale. But Sideshow does weird scales, 5th scale.
They do. I think that's why they didn't put it on this, because it's probably not an exact scale.
I think that's the case. I think it's like close, but they were like, yeah, let's just fudge the numbers and make it. If this had been quarter scale, I'd have bought probably 2 of them.
Yeah.
Just to have one here and one at work.
This is where Sideshow shines. Sideshow does really good work when they're doing like animated stuff or comic inspired stuff. They falter when they're trying to do lifelike, like likenesses of actual human beings, of actors. When they're doing comic inspired or animated inspired stuff, that's when they do their best work.
I do think the paint applications are a little, but they're animated style, so I'm not even going to.
Yeah, they're going to be very clean and very, yeah.
I just hope the final product is as good as the promotional product that we see here.
Yeah.
Shane, you're a Star Wars guy. What are your thoughts on this guy?
I like it. If it's 6 scale, since I am getting the Anakin and the Obi-Wan, I think it would be a great compliment to them.
Yeah.
It looks like they might even didn't they use some sort of like 3D technology or something to do those head sculpts for the Obi-Wan? I can't remember what it was called, but it looks, because this looks that Maul looks just like he came off the show.
Yeah, it looks great.
Like
I like everything about it. I don't have any complaint. The only thing I think is lacking is the base. I like that they added some destruction, some damage down there. I don't have high hopes that the final paint application is going to be amazing on that. But I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna give them too much.
Well, and if it is supposed to be a representative of Clone Wars, it doesn't need to be super high-end paint detail, because it still needs to have the animated effect. I mean, again, other than the pose, this is almost perfect. So
I like the pose. I think it's he's
I'm
coming in,
really
he's
good with
going
it.
back.
Mike, just think about this. You got 2 hue bulbs. You got a red one. You got a blue one. You got
yeah, that might happen.
I mean, just
there you go.
This is going to be a really good Clone Wars centerpiece for a lot of collectors.
I really like how whoever did the photography on this photo. I like how they it's sort of like a juxtaposition between the red and the blue. The red on Maul to indicate, highlight the simple fact that he is a savage. He is, the opposer at that point, and the blue representing, of course, Ahsoka. That's something that I really like about this. Again, I think it's one of those situations that once you get it in hand, and here's the thing: when I saw it the first time, same thing. I felt it's like, it does look like it's more of a performance than an actual. But at the same time, I had to look at the simple fact that even in Clone Wars, a show, if you see it, and even behind the scenes when you saw Ray Park, it was a performance. It was basically something that, if you look at it, not just as a dance, but, it is operatic, whereas, you see good versus evil. and that's why I connected with this particular piece because of the motions, the fluidity. I think
hear
that
orchestral music when you're looking at it.
It's sort of like when you're looking at it, you can feel the aggression off this piece, especially when you're looking at Maul. And then on top of that, we're looking at it from this particular angle. I think that if you look at it from different angles, your perception might change slightly. But I mean, it's like even when I'm looking at this, you can see the aggression. You can see that, of course, Ahsoka is floating back. You can see him coming in and she's protecting herself, of course, drawing him in. As she said, on the show itself during this scene, she was like, yeah, I'm very disappointed. You know what I mean? Because, like she's just saying, look, you can barely face me and you wanted Obi-Wan. What's that say for yourself? So, I like it, man. I love this piece. The only thing I hate is when, I understand that they do this a lot, and this is me nitpicking, that they actually show you how it looks on a table next to an apple. Stop doing that. Like, I hate that. I don't know why, but I just hate it. Just keep it strictly statue. Just pose it under a light, and we could just take it from, leave it up to us to imagine.
Just tell us the actual scale instead of giving us an apple next to it. That's supposed to indicate.
Or someone holding it.
I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby this weekend and buy me a damn apple for my posing section.
Yes.
The statue is exactly 3.5 apples tall.
Exactly. It'll be the new rating system. I'll give this Hot Toy 3 apples.
I'm gonna have to get a rotating display to have that in my collection, though. 'Cause I want that like spinning with light coming up on it. Like I want it actually rotating.
Ooh, that would look nice.
With the
that way you
bulbs.
get the
That's what I'm
different
saying.
angle.
Yeah. All right, so I just wanted to bring that out because Marcos Collector's Zone was kind enough to say, hey, look, dude, we got this. We're going to do a special deal, so I want to share that with you guys. So in the chat, Linda asked the proper question, which is what we're here to answer tonight. But is it a grail? That's the question. So I made a post in the Patreon channel supporter Facebook group, the Death Star, which, by the way, if you want to support the channel, click some buttons and do the thing. Didn't get access to that. But I made a post in there, and I guess I should just read this freaking thing.
And then I got called an elitist.
You got called an elitist.
Stop being an elitist.
Yeah, quit being an elitist. And this is actually a controversial topic, which I like tackling from time to time. And what I said is, I'll read it. It says, I've come to the conclusion, this is me posting there, that there is no such thing as a Hot Toys grail. I was specific about Hot Toys. A Hot Toys grail just figures people are unwilling to pay market value for. That was that. And then it was like,
oh, yeah.
It was like a thing, which is fine. And let me throw this out there. These are our opinions. You can disagree with us. That you're not going to get it. That's fine. No big deal. So that was my thought. But I want to lead this up with Yes Man, because Yes Man has thoughts on this, and we'll lead out with him. So go ahead, Yes Man.
So the first thing, just before even starting, I just think, today offers a little bit of perspective on, everything that's going on. One of the things I love about this community is that we now live in a time and age where we're all interconnected, and those hobbies that we had as kids where we may have felt isolated and you only found like one or two people that may have a common, interest as you. You now have hundreds and thousands of people out there that share the same interest that we have. And I like the excitement and I like the camaraderie that brings. But one of the things that's always kind of disappointed me is how, sometimes different debates on Hot Toys and figures, people take it to an 11 and they get super emotional about it. They get offended. And today with everything that's going on over in Europe and everything else, it just kind of, as much as we debate, we're all just having fun. These things don't matter at the end of the day. And so we should be, just really blessed that we can have these conversations and that we can have fun with it. But, let's not take some of the comments online and things like that too seriously, because it makes, what this whole community, which is great, and this hobby that's great, it just kind of takes it down. So it's all for fun. Everything's for fun. And we should just kind of keep it that way. That being said, so I think that when you talk about a grail, I think that there are two things, at least in my mind, are really important. And any grail, quote unquote, has to hit one of these two things. It either has to be pursued by that individual because it's scarce and you have a hard time finding it, or B, it has to be out of the person's price range, but the person is actively pursuing enough revenue to buy that object. So it can't just be a random, expensive object that, somebody wants, right? Like I want a Lamborghini. I'm never going to try to save up enough money to buy a Lamborghini. So I think a grail has to hit one of those two things. It has to be actively pursued by the person. And two, if they can't afford it, that they're actively trying to either, eventually earn enough money to have that. If it's just a pie in the sky object, I don't think it's a grail. And if the person just really wants it, but has no intention of actually trying to get one, it's not a grail. The whole purpose of a grail is the journey to achieve and find that grail. So those are the criteria that I personally use.
All right. Well thought out and succinct debate there. And I'm with you on that, because at the end of the day, it's plastic. Who cares? Like it doesn't matter. Or vinyl or statue or polystone, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. So I think that's right. So your thought was that for it to be a grail, it has to have two qualifications. I think that's pretty good. Let's just throw this out there. Medic. I'll offer my thoughts later. So
Okay. Yeah, I'll kind of go off. As someone who has bought and sold a lot of things, as you know, I have limited space, so I can't keep everything I buy. Unfortunately, I buy stuff, I enjoy it for a while. Something comes up, something new comes along, I move stuff. It's just the nature of how I am. I enjoy stuff for a while, I get bored with it, move on to something different. So in my terms, nothing is a grail, because if you want it bad enough, you'll find the means to get it. Whether if it's money, availability, you can find a way. Now, whether if it's like I can just pop on eBay and buy it, not always, but if, with enough due diligence, you can find what you want. And as long as you have the money and the means, you can get it. So nothing is technically a grail in that aspect.
Yeah.
Because I've bought several pieces that I, used to throw the word grail around like, this is a grail, gotta have it. And I would sell something or, do whatever, work on it, make some extra side hustle and get what I wanted. And then 6 months later, it's like, yeah, it's cool, but I'm bored. Off to something else.
Right.
So that's the long and short of how I feel about grails.
That's fair. That's fair. I think my thought in making this post was this. If you look at Hot Toys, and I specifically said Hot Toys, so we can talk about statues, we can talk about whatever. Let's look at Hot Toys. There are very few numbered Hot Toys. In other words, they made a finite number, and here you got number 200 of 500 or whatever it is. Like, that's not a thing. So it's not an issue for me of if I wanted something. Let me give you an example. Yondu. Let's talk about Yondu. That was one. Everybody loves Yondu. Brendan, we were talking about Yondu.
That was my example that I used in the post. Yeah.
Okay, so I won't steal your thunder on Yondu, but Yondu is one that's very well. They didn't produce a lot because at that time not many people ordered it, so they made however many people ordered, but you had a freaking year and a half to buy it, or maybe 2 years to buy it, but pre-order, and then after it came in stock, it didn't sell out immediately. It didn't sell out. But the thing with the Yondu character is you can buy one. It's not like Shane brought up earlier that he had a Batman Mego figure, right? The magnetic one, right?
Yeah.
What he was telling us earlier was that he tried to buy them, but there were none for sale. You couldn't buy it.
Yeah, at the time there was nothing.
So,
and it was hard to get. And to me, it was my childhood toy.
right.
So, and my brother broke it, and I've always wanted it. It was my favorite thing ever. And to me, I had to have that. It meant something to me,
Yeah. But you actually were chasing it.
Yeah.
Right. For me, what I see in the Facebook groups, and I see them on forums or YouTube or whatever else, is and me as a collector, like there are pieces I'd like to have. Like Yondu, I don't own Yondu. I did in the past. I sold it. And I did a Marvel purge or whatever, which happens from time to time. I'd like to have Yondu back in the collection. However, I'm not personally willing to pay the market price for Yondu. I'm just not willing to do it. I think Brenda's the same way. You'd like to have Yondu in the collection, but you're not willing to pay what the market's going for. It doesn't mean that the market's wrong. It is what it is.
No, the market is never wrong. The market is the market. It's what it is. Like that's just it's whether or not you're on board with it. That's
right.
it.
That's it. But it's not like if it was something you really wanted in Hot Toys land, what's the most expensive hot toy? Hulkbuster?
At
It's in
retail,
stock.
yeah,
That's in stock. Like the most expensive Iron Man is $700. The Mark IV with gantry, still less than $1,000, right? So in the world of collecting 6-scale figures, where the base price is now close to $300, so 3 times retail isn't really astronomical for a desired item. I don't think. Lael, what's your thought? Am I going off the road? Am I crazy here?
I think it for me, Grail is a personal view. For me is, and again, first off, Mike, thanks for saying what you said about Europe, bro. Like that was really important to really mention, and also the sentiment that we're here to collect. So you're not the bull crap. That's pretty much why when I see posts, I actually completely just neglect even participating because as people go back and forth, I don't post anything unless it's pictures. I just leave it at that. I just let people talk because it's just so toxic and I'm just too tired and I'm too old to participate. I'm tired of it, like seriously. But like literally I am. But when it comes to Grails, like I said, it's for me, it's a personal choice. I have pieces in here that I myself mark as Grail pieces because I know they hold value for me, and there's as a personal connection for me to that piece. For me, always will be my Gen Urso is my Grail piece. I mean, I love that figure, always have since I had it. I'll never give it away. But to others, it might be something totally different. You're right. If the piece is basically out there and it's available, and you can pick it up. Again, I don't know. It's some people may see certain things as a Grail, but I think we just have to be careful what we label a Grail. To me, I don't even, as much as I have a personal connection to every figure in here, there's only one thing that I can actually say is a Grail, and that's my comics. I mean, seriously, because I have comic books that are Grail pieces that you will never find. Like literally, you will never find. You know what I mean? Since I've had it, you might find them, but you're gonna pay out the ass for it. Like seriously. And I have these pieces. I mean, I've been collecting seriously since 1976, since I was young. You know what I mean? So I've been collecting for years. I've been in this game for years. So there's only one thing I can actually say is Grail for me. When it comes to figures, yeah, I can label certain things Grail from a personal opinion or a personal point of view, which again is Jen. But again, I know that she's still available. You can still get her in certain places, and she's not as expensive. But I mean, I just think you need to be careful for it. You know what I mean? Careful about it. But yeah, I mean, I just think that, but even still, like at the same time, I don't fault people for calling certain things Grails. You know what I mean? If it's their opinion and they say that it's a Grail for them, then I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? That's what it is. I'm happy for you, and I might look at it and be like, yo, you have a personal connection to it, so of course you're going to call it a Grail for you. I just think that, and then on top of that, it's I'll close it with this. One of those situations where we live in a realm of monkey see, monkey do type of situation. One person basically says it's a Grail. Everybody else will say it's a Grail. Just like, for instance, what's the going, like right now, the word is every time it happens and every time they release something, there's a brand new reveal. It's, pre-order day one. That's a day one to me. That's a day one to me. That's a day one. I'm so sick of hearing day ones because I'm just like, all right, just say it's a piece that you want to pick up. But if you don't, I choose myself, I just refuse to pre-order anymore. I'm not pre-ordering anything until I cleared everything out because I know it's still going to be there. But that's what I'm saying. Like when you say Grail, when you say day one, these are two things that, are subjective.
Yeah, they are.
In its personal opinion.
We're not going to solve this.
It's not. You're not going to basically solve it, but it's not to knock anybody out there. I'm not trying to knock anybody because everybody has a personal connection to a piece that they call Grail pieces. I have one figure that I say that's a Grail piece, but I'm more connected to comics because I have so many Grail pieces, literally. Some that I've gotten graded, some that I will never let slip. So for me, I have more of a personal connection to my comics than I do my figures. But at the same time, I think it's all things subjective. You can call whatever you want to call a Grail. I'm not going to knock you for it. And I don't think the community should knock anybody for it, to be quite honest. I mean,
No,
it's
you can
just,
call
it
Grail
is what it
whatever you
is. You
want.
can call it what you want. Just at the same time, people, like, seriously, man, stop with the debating back and forth. There's too much ish out here that's a tad bit more serious than us debating over figures constantly every single day. So, Mike, I echo what you said, bro. Salute to you about that, bro. I'm with you.
I'd like to see less. Let's see here. I'm okay with the debate. I don't like the ad hominems where you're attacking the individual. I don't like that. But the debate about a figure, whether you like something, I think is fine. But you say, hey, look, you're an idiot for liking that. Like, that's crossing the line. That's not cool. But to say I don't like, I made a post the other day in the main Facebook group, and I said, what's the most overrated figure? I'm going to make a video on this. It was like 300 freaking comments on this thread. I'm going to make a video on this. And I was like, what is an overrated figure and why? And the majority of comments were they didn't like the character, or they didn't like, there was really no reason.
Most of them were naming figures that they never bought.
Yeah.
Right?
So
it's like if you get it in hand and then you're like, oh man, I was excited about this, but this, and this is a letdown. Like, I think this was overrated. Okay. But if it's just like, well, I didn't like the character, or I didn't like the design of the figure, you can't really say it's overrated then. Like, you haven't actually seen it and been like, had expectations and then realized that they were not met.
Well, I brought it up because people were literally arguing about somebody else. I'm like, I just wanted to see what I genuinely wanted as a community, wanted to figure out what the community thought about figures. And I was thinking, like, maybe, like, I don't know if you remember this, like a year or so ago, maybe a year and a half ago, a year and a half, the Mark 47 Iron Man that was like $1,500, right? Crazy prices. I mean, the market was nuts. And now you can't give it away for less than retail, right? So whoever it's just the way the ebbs and flow of the market goes. I was genuinely interested in seeing what the community thought about, like, overrated figures. And I
mean, you stirred the pot with 2 consecutive posts there.
Well, it's okay. It's my group. I get to do that, right?
Right. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, each of us, we don't own the words Grail, right?
No.
Each one of us. This
Exactly,
is where we come down to. This is a personal opinion,
Mhm.
right?
Exactly.
Now, I don't agree with Medic that there is no Grails. To me, my Grail is 66 Batman and Joker, right? And the only reasons why, that is just my 2 most wanted piece. Those are my pieces that I want the most. I don't care about anything else, right?
Yeah.
Now, are they obtainable? Absolutely. Just take some time, some money, and you got them. Right?
Yeah.
But again, a personal attachment, bouncing off what you were saying, Leo, this is all about what you like.
Mhm.
That's why you collect what you like.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you may not agree with everybody else,
Mhm.
and that's okay. We're not all going to agree.
Yeah.
I don't agree with Brendan on a lot of things, but I still
And
like the
you
guy.
have every right to be wrong.
Nobody agrees with you. Are you kidding?
Right. I just use him as an example. But anyway, so the thing at the end of the day is that, again, we're a community. You're not going to agree. It's all about how we talk to each other, how we treat each other,
Yeah.
Right.
And if
we all
and
agreed,
it's
it
all
would be
about
kinda boring.
dialogue. Right. Well, it's all about dialogue. It's okay to have debating in the comments, right?
As long as it doesn't get personal. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, our Call of Duty live streams are going to get demonetized. I can tell you that, right?
Yeah, there's
Well,
don't even, that's just out the window before it, like,
I need to put that on a separate channel.
And that is
monetization
after
just
dark
has a hatchet
streams.
in the back
Oh,
right away.
good.
Yeah,
Those
that is not that. And put your kids to bed, because this is an adult content. You're going to hear lots
It's
of
going to be
things.
fun.
I agree with what you're saying though, Shane. I mean, so with the post that Ryan put up asking, like, what people think is a Grail. So when I was called an elitist, and I think I'm not trying to, like,
It was friendly.
I don't think the guy was he had no malice. It was but the issue wasn't over the definition of a Grail, because to me, what I think is a Grail could be something completely different than somebody else. For me, a Grail is something that I think of more after I've obtained something, and I'm like, that is never going to leave my collection. Like for me, I've flat out said, is it the best hot toy they've ever made? No. But to me, the advanced suit Spidey from the PS4 game, it's my favorite all-time Spider-Man suit, like, period. So for me, if I had to get rid of every single piece of my figure in my collection except one, that's the one that I would keep. Is it the best one they've ever made? No. But for me, it's the one I have the biggest connection to. So that's a grail for me.
Yeah.
And I think you'd be hard pressed to find a lot of other people that would call that figure a grail for them, right? For like Lael said, comic books. Like I have some old comics. For me, grails, like the things that I will never get rid of, is a lot of like this Alex Ross signed Daredevil artist print right here. I love. I will never, ever, ever. I will get rid of my kids before I get rid of that. Okay,
Brendan, how much do you want for that?
Yeah, it ain't happening, buddy. So that's but the thing that this guy kind of called me elitist for, and I was actually defending something that Ryan said, but somehow I was the one who took the.
Are you saying I was right about something? Is that what?
Well, you said it's less that a grail doesn't exist and more that somebody is unwilling to pay the current market value. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And I agreed with that.
If you have the ability, I should have prefaced it with, if you have the ability to pay the market.
Yeah,
value,
well, and so that's where he was
not
kind of saying, oh, using the term unwilling, that's elitist. Some people don't make as much money as you, or they make less hourly wage, they have less disposable income. This was not shaming people who cannot afford something, all right? I was saying, look, if you can afford something, like you can buy it right now, you've got the funds, it's not a problem,
right?
But you don't think the piece is worth the current market value. To me, I don't really see that as being a grail, because it's obtainable, but you don't think it's actually worth what you'd have to pay to obtain it. To me, that's not really a grail then. It's if you have the means and opportunity to get it, and you do, cool. If you want to get it, but you don't have the funds, like Mike said earlier, but you're working toward being able to get it because you desperately want that piece in your collection, I think then you're crossing into territory where, again, by my standards, not everybody's, not a universal thing, you could call it a grail. And for some reason, it was being said that like that was like elitist, like, oh, not everybody can afford. It's like, we understand not everybody. There were times where I couldn't afford hot toys that I wanted. There are big statue pieces that I would love to have in my. I'd love to have a life-size Stormtrooper and Iron Man in my house. I cannot.
Life-size Thanos.
Oh God.
Seriously.
Optimus Prime.
Oh yes.
Life-size
Right in
Optimus
my
The driveway
backyard.
piece.
But you know what I mean? So like this is like people were like we're getting to this territory where they were like taking things personally in a way that it wasn't. This is all about like what your own personal definition of a grail is,
Right.
and then you go from there. This was Ryan and I were agreeing on one perspective for what a grail could mean,
Right.
and then saying if you can get it, you have the opportunity and you have the means, but you don't think it's worth the current market value, I just don't think that you can really call something at that point a grail, because you can have it tomorrow if you want it. But you're like, that's not worth the money. Yondu is a perfect example. I want Yondu in my collection, but I'm not going to pay $800 for Yondu. So to me, that's not a grail. It's a piece that I would like to have, and hopefully someday I will pick it up. But if I don't, I'm not losing sleep over it.
And I would say out there, like if you were, because there's a lot of new collectors in here that are younger. They're not adults, right? They're younger. And if you're working at Chick-fil-A making $10 an hour, then a Hulkbuster very well may be a grail, right? That might be a thing. Or maybe you're a Tesla Model S or Plaid, something, I don't know, whatever it is. But a Hulkbuster.
Or Sideshow Grievous.
Sideshow Grievous may be a grail.
That was my grail.
So I do think there's a, depending on the item, I do think income definitely plays a part in it for sure. I'm not going to say it's not, because there are some pieces out there that I would love to have that I have the ability to buy, but I don't, because again, I don't want to pay the market price. But that's why people ask me all the time, what's your grail? I don't have one. I literally do not have one. I can't think of one. Because if I want something, then I will do whatever I got to do to make that happen. So I don't have one, but a lot of people do. And again, this isn't to say one side's wrong, one side's right. We're just having a discussion. That's all we're doing here. Obviously to say that Shane is the Hatchet guy. That's the truth. That's facts. But there's that.
Oh.
So Shane, you brought up your Amigo Batman. Tell us how you ended up with that thing.
Well, this was actually a while back. So right now you could probably get him for not that big of a price, or he's more available because there's eBay. When I got him, there was no eBay, or eBay was just starting or whatever. But it took me classifieds, just going to antique shops everywhere. I just went to, garage sales, everything. I wasn't particularly looking for it, but it's always a toy that I missed.
This is before they did the re-release, right?
The re-release.
Of the Amigos?
Yeah. This is a 68. He's pretty cool. He's I used to throw him at my refrigerator. Well, my mom used to get mad, and he would stick to it, man, because he's got like magnets on his hands.
That's cool.
And it was my favorite toy, and my brother.
It's actually pretty cool.
And I had to have them, and when I saw it, I'd seen them before, and they were like all ripped up and old, tattered or whatever. This one was in perfect shape. The emblem was still stuck on his chest nice, and the cape wasn't all frayed, and it's not perfect, but it is good enough for me. And so yeah, to me that was a grail, and this will be buried with me, opposed to I got a Hulkbuster sitting right there, and this
he's gonna be like this with
Hulkbuster. Yeah, right. But Hulkbuster was a grail too, I'd say, for me, because I really I would go on Sideshow and I'd see it and go, man, I really want that. I really want that one. And my Iron Man collection was getting bigger.
Let's be honest. It didn't take much convincing.
Yeah.
No, it didn't take much.
Wanted it. It did. It took a little bit.
It took a little bit. Okay.
Well, before that, I had wanted him for a long time.
Okay. It took two.
So it's one of those ones that I have now and I would never get rid of.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what I'm saying? That's to me is like I don't know who said it, but that's a grail for me. If something has come in, I love it, and I'll never get rid of it.
Right.
BVS Batman, never get rid of it. Him.
Don't say 66 Batman and Robin, because I have yours.
Yeah, you got that one.
Yeah.
Now I want him back.
Well, maybe.
No.
Antonio got a super chat. I don't want to miss this because it happened way back. It says 80 to 90%, and he is a new collector. Of my figures would be considered grails. Started 14 months ago. I don't believe in calling anything grail. It's all right, man. It's all an opinion. It's all good.
Right.
And he has amassed some pretty cool pieces. But it took some time to track him down. It took some time. And we had another one here. I didn't want to miss this. Where am I at? Oh, no, it was Antonio. There's only one grill, a perfect working, great quality Grievous. Now you're trolling.
That's not a grail. That's a unicorn.
that's
a whole totally different subject.
Mine works perfectly.
That's a whole other thing. So I wanted to have this discussion because I thought it was interesting. Rather than are they going to release this or are they going to make that or what? I thought this would be a more of an interesting discussion to have tonight. But there are some figure releases that I do want to talk about that I thought were pretty cool.
While you're pulling those up, I just want to. This is the one time that I actually will call somebody out for enabling, because usually I'm like, I don't care if I bought it because I want it, but I didn't even know this existed until Ryan brought it to my attention earlier today, and then I had to buy it. So I bought that silver metallic concept art print of Cap and Winter Soldier from the Winter Soldier.
Right.
Actually, I mean, it was only
like
$105. That thing is, I love that. It looks so cool.
I may pick it up from my office, honestly.
It's $105. That's not bad at all.
My only problem is it's not large enough. This one's 24 by 14 for the space. I have a large area to put. I need like a big piece.
Stop bragging about size there. Come on, it's perfectly fine. It's a good piece. It looks. I had no idea it existed, so I only spent the money because you informed me of its existence. But
I think it's cool. But it would make if I got this, I'd have to go buy the Winter Soldier again, and then I have to go buy this cap for the Golden Age cap again. I have to go buy these.
I have those.
It cost me more than.
Okay.
Yes, it would cost me $1,000. But that's not. You're welcome, by the way. But that's not what we're here to talk about. I would like to discuss, if I can, this guy,
Yep.
the man with no name. I would like to talk about this. So this is something that Sideshow actually teased us with last January about this license. And it took them an entire year to even put this up for pre-orders, which I don't know why, but it is what it is. But I have just looking at some of these photos of this guy. Whoever did the photography did a pretty good job. So kudos to whoever that was. I think it looked pretty damn cool. But I'd like to hear from the cat, you guys in the comment section, if what your thoughts are on this thing. But who's my resident? Who likes what? Mike, I know your thoughts on this. I know you like these movies, so
yeah. I mean, it's one of the best westerns of all time. It's an iconic character. Obviously, you have the influence of Cad Bane with the villain. I like it. I don't think I can get it. I mean, I only have a handful of figures that don't kind of fit in my collection, and as those start stacking, it just kind of gets a little annoying. So I appreciate that they made this. I want Sideshow, continue to do these types of things. Make Audrey Hepburn, make that we have those third party Shawshanks, but yeah, go back, do some of these older films. I really hope you make money on them so that you continue doing them. They don't need to be super posable. These aren't Spider-Man. Right. So I tip my hat to Sideshow for making it. I think they did a pretty good job. The head sculpt, it's not a Yondu head sculpt, but it's good enough.
It's close
enough. And yeah, so I won't personally buy it, but I'm glad that they made it.
I love that they included The Rock. From that last scene, they included The Rock.
Yeah, from the graveyard.
Yeah, I think that's super cool.
Hey, Mike, Yellowstone 6-scale figures, yes or no?
Okay. If they make 1883 figures, I will buy them all.
I'm gonna put it out there because I know 3 of us are fans in here. So
yeah, okay.
I would do Yellowstone.
There are a couple new themes I could create.
Well, the interesting thing about this is I was looking at this before we went live, and if I can find a photo of the freaking head sculpt, they don't really have a close up of the head sculpt. I don't know why, but they don't. So whatever. So the hat and the cigar are molded into the head. They're not removable. That's an interesting choice. I understand the smokes. The hat I don't quite understand, but I mean, I'm not mad about it. I just think it's
odd. Not a big deal if the paintwork is done right.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it at all.
That's what I'm
scared
I agree
about.
with. Yeah, that's what I'm scared about. I love this figure. I mean, to be honest, I'm mildly tempted, but that I want to know what the paint app is like at the final product.
Yeah, it's got double jointed elbows.
Well, there you go. I mean,
it's
will the body fall apart though?
Superman at this point. I think it looks cool.
My thing with this though is I think they were in the right direction. I agree with Mike. I like the fact that they're doing stuff like this. My thing is I'm looking at this, especially like this picture is a perfect example. I'm looking at it and it looks like Clint Eastwood is in a commercial for like laundry detergent or something that gets out every stain. Like he's so clean. There's no dirt. There's no grime. Like, look at that movie. There should be dirt on his face. He should be muddied up. The poncho, the vest, that shirt is so... It looks like he just bought that at, like, Sears or something.
We can fix that, though.
Right. That's what I was getting ready to say.
I don't like having to go and add weathering to a figure that I already spent, like, 200 some odd bucks for. To me, this just seems so... Like, look at the boots. Like, they look brand new. Everything in it looks super, super clean.
Yeah.
And that movie is the exact opposite of that. And he should be muddied up. He should be dirtier. Should be a little bloody. Like, it's too clean to me. And that unfortunately for me is just kind of pulling me out of it.
Yeah. I'm going to get it and I'm going to weather it. And I am with Mike on like these odd characters that don't really fit in collection. Clearly, I'm focusing on Star Wars and Spider-Man currently. But this is something that if they want to do like some other odd characters, I mean, like they look like they're doing a Dirty Harry, right? At least they teased it.
Yeah.
So, I think this one looks better than the Dirty Harry just based on what I'm seeing here. But I don't know. Maybe it's just the coloring and the I don't know, the textures of the fabrics and whatever. But I think it looks pretty stinking cool. What the chat? What do you guys? Before fight version. That's what 1/6 scale for life says.
Yeah.
He was dirty in scene 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Mhm.
now some people are saying like Tombstone. There are tons of Western. Tombstone would be a
like that
great
too.
one. I mean, there are so many Westerns that like give me like a Gene Hackman.
Ooh,
Like give
this is
me
a good
like
one.
so many of these characters that I would love.
That would be a good one.
There are tons of them. I enjoyed was it 316 to Yuma. All right, give
Yeah,
me
that was a good
give me
one.
Bale and Crow from
Oh,
that.
yeah.
There are a lot of Westerns out there that you could get some really cool. I know Mike is fully on board with this. Give me some 6 scale figures from The Harder They Fall on Netflix. I'll buy them all.
That's Mike's favorite movie.
Lael will be right there with us.
I said, "Oh
rock
brother,
that.
we're out now" the other day, and
Oh, you'd buy those? Like those would be day one pre-orders for you.
For The Harder They Fall, I would buy that whole lot if they made
No,
that.
the Oh Brother We're Out Now for Jenna.
Absolutely.
Oh hell yeah, I'd buy. Yeah, Justin's in the house. What's up, brother? It seems like it doesn't come with a base. No, I don't think it does.
If it does, it would just be like a plain black hexagonal base with no detailing whatsoever.
It would.
if
It would
comes
be the
with one.
normal. Yeah. I feel like those are the bases that get made in prison. Like instead of license plates, they make like sideshow bases. Like
Yep.
I don't know.
I mean,
This,
it is a sideshow figure. It needs a stand.
This piece
Very true.
generally gives me, I mean, I like it because again, we asked for those figures that are completely out of an IP that's recognizable as something totally different. I love Clint Eastwood films. I mean, my favorite Western of all time literally is Outlaw Josie Wells. I mean, that's always going to go down, as my favorite because it literally had a story that, pretty much anybody can relate to. But, this figure, I mean, I think literally, I mean, yeah, it's clean, but I like the innovation. I like the simple fact that we're getting something like this, and it's something different that we can talk about. You know what I mean? It's not like the usual.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, when they released that Muhammad Ali, I was all in. I mean, I got that thing day one. It was something that, I didn't pre-order it. I bought it. Literally, I just paid it off because I knew it was something that I wanted, and I couldn't pass on it, and it was a beautiful piece. And like same here, when you look at this, it's like it's clean, but I think it's clean from every aspect. Like it's a clean figure that pretty much a lot of people would want. I mean, imagine putting this figure on top of a horse with that poncho. That'd be incredible piece to have. You know what I mean? Like I think it's really nice, and if they continue to release, hey, look, you know what? Give me Clint Eastwood from Any Which Way But Loose. I'd take that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that was one of two of my favorite films. You know what I mean? So give me that, and I'd take those all day. But I mean, yeah, I think really nice release, man. I mean, the likeness is there. They added some accessories, the poncho, the guns, him, the Rock. I mean,
The Rock
still
is awesome, man.
yeah, I mean,
That
but
is
yeah,
a
I think
that
it's
is good inclusion. Yeah.
you know what I mean, like that to have something like this for most people because, like I said, I mean, and it's crazy because we're talking about Grails. I know my father. Yet may he rest in peace. If he was still alive and he saw this piece, he would get it because he was a Clint Eastwood fan, and he would call it his Grail piece because he loved the films. So you know what I mean, like. When we talk about Grail pieces and we look at something like this could border that line because of the simple fact that it is something that a lot of people, especially people, probably my age and above, have, can say, yo, that's fantastic. But
it's an iconic IP where other figures don't
And
exist in
There
it.
might be 100 people in the chat going, "Who the hell is that?"
yeah, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like people who
Big
don't
Himmy.
know.
Big
Yeah,
Himmy
I
in
mean-
the chat, he nailed it. Give me Young Guns. Give me Emilio Estevez
Oh, that'd be
and
dope.
Kiefer
Emilio
Sutherland,
Estevez.
Lou Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen. Like, give me all of those. I will buy the hell out of that line.
I'll
With
make
or
you
without the
famous.
tiger
You
blood.
just want Emilio Estevez from the Mighty Ducks. That's what you.
No, see,
Don't
I'm
knock
not even a
that.
hockey fan. I want Emilio Estevez from Men at Work with Charlie Sheen
Oh,
when they're
okay.
the,
All right.
the,
Oh,
the
jeez.
garbage truck drivers and they're bowling down like the alleys and stuff. Yes, that's what I want.
Antonio says it'd be expensive, but untouchable five. Oh,
That would be
Oh,
awesome.
yes.
That would be good.
Costner and
See,
yeah.
I think there's some opportunity there outside of Spider-Man and Iron Man. I know I'm not alone, as we see in the comments, but
Yeah.
you know, as much as I want like every variant of Stormtrooper or every Imperial officer ever made, and like I want all that stuff. Like this is, and Mike said earlier, like how does this fit in the collection? Well, it doesn't.
You know what? You know what
but-
I want. You know what I want, Ryan.
Yeah.
Literally, a piece that I would love to have in my collection. Literally, because it's one of my favorite films of all time, and pretty much I know a lot of people would hate it. 2 films. One is give me a Burt Reynolds from Sharky's Machine. I'd take that all day
Nice.
because I love that film. I loved him in it. And actually give me Sylvester Stallone and Billy D. Williams from Nighthawks. I love that film as well.
Wait,
I'd
you don't
take
want
that.
Stallone from Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
Nah.
I wanted
No,
over the top.
come on.
I wanted the one from
No,
Or
Jim
Seamus
Hawkins,
over the top.
Wesley Snipes.
Over the top. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
but I
my
mean those are
Over the
pieces.
top.
Those are one-off pieces that I can actually see and recreate. It'd be something, spectacular. But yeah, I mean, if it this gives me hope that if they're doing something like this,
Yeah.
then there's more to come, and I think they're listening. I mean,
Let's
to
hope.
people who want something completely different. You know what
So
I
I
mean?
So
Maybe
on the
Bruce
subject
Lee
of
will-
grails,
Since we're talking about over the
Yeah,
top,
Smokey
hold
and the
on.
Bandit.
Over the top.
Yes.
All right, wait. So what's one really bad movie that you would want a 6-scale figure from? Like this is a horrible movie, but it's funny as hell, and you'd want
Big
to
Trouble
have
in
a
Little
6-scale from.
China.
Rick Moranis from
That
Honey,
is
I
a
Shrunk the
great
Kids.
movie. You shut your mouth.
Honey, I
The
Shrunk
Pork
the
Chop
Kids.
Express. Come on.
A Rick
I
Moranis,
want-
come on.
Give me the tall man and the tall man from Phantasm with the sphere. I'll take that. That'd be decent.
Oh, okay.
That'd be decent.
Okay.
That'd be decent, right?
Yeah.
You
No,
do-
I'm not mad
you
about
feel me,
that.
Seamus? You
Yeah.
feel me?
I didn't even. You busted out Phantasm. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, right. You feel me?
All right.
You feel me?
I'm gonna go out on
Yeah.
a limb. I'm not even gonna say from a movie. I'm gonna say Taylor Swift. I'll go out there and throw it.
Well, it's good talking to you guys. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out.
This.
Bro, you literally have a personal connection where you said Taylor Swift so many times.
I
bro.
like
I-
Taylor
Like she's
Swift. I'm just saying she's not bad to look at, and she can sing.
so I did want to bring up one thing that somebody mentioned in the comments. They were talking, since we're talking about grails, and with a release today,
Yeah.
Oh.
from Blitzway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had that on the.
I figured you were going to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, let me get that.
Does that fulfill, like, a lot of people don't have that piece, obviously. Does the new piece fill that grail? Does that fill you in, complete that
fill your-
series for you?
fill your
Like, if
void,
that,
fill your
Does
void.
it scratch the itch?
yeah, does it scratch the itch?
So I love the Ghostbusters franchise, right? And I think that would be an amazing centerpiece for whatever collection that you have. Do I consider that piece a grail? No. But you put the Jazz Inc. 66 Batmobile, which is probably going to be about the same size, that would be the grail. So it's all about
I'm so
what you
afraid
love.
of the size of this thing, man.
Oh, it's going to be ginormous. But this is technically, because a lot of people have been like, oh, they're all right, they're reissuing. This is not a reissue. This
This
is
is that new movie.
This is the one from the new movie. It's like,
Which was a great movie, for the record.
it was a good movie. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
love
But
the
this
movie.
is not a
That's really
reissue
good.
of the original
No.
one that they made. This is going to have differences akin to the most recent movie.
right.
It's specific with the ramp and the swing out seat, right?
It should have,
Well-
yeah, the
And all the
gunner
rust.
seats. That
Right.
swing
So
out.
the rocker panels on the car, if you
They put, like,
turn
50
to a
photos
side
in.
view, I don't know if they had any more or not, but if you look at the side view on the rocker panels, you see the age of the car, right? So the rocker panels, for those of you who don't know, is below the door. So all of that, and under the fender wells and on the backside of the car, you get all that age and that patina against the car. And I think it's amazing that they did this, and they
I
did a
love the
fantastic
windows.
job, huh?
I love the windows.
Yeah, because you're seeing the age of that old glass in the car.
Yeah. I mean, look at all this stuff, man. It's
Oh yeah.
They did. They did.
It comes with
really
the
good
ghost of
job.
Harold Ramis.
That would be awesome. Have like a little ghost figure in the passenger seat. Yeah.
No,
That
his
would be
spirit is
amazing.
there. His spirit
That
is,
would be
is,
cool.
is
Oh,
in the
yeah.
package.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the gunner seat right here.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it
cool.
is.
It is. That's awesome.
I don't know.
Of course, the question then begs, obviously going into, well, will they release these figures and, will they release the kids for it and et cetera, et cetera.
I don't even
You'd think they'd
care.
have something to go with it.
Yeah,
don't care.
Justin just asked that question. Is he the only one who no? I would absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to get this just because size and stuff. It's too much. But if I were, I would want to get the full cast. I'd want to get the kids. Maybe even throw Paul Rudd in there. Well, we've got the Ant-Man sculpt. But just have the whole. Do the older versions of the characters from the original movies as they appear in this movie.
Only
do
if
the
Paul
whole
Rudd
bunch.
comes with a bunch of little mini marshmallows. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, my
Yeah, the
kids
mini
watch
marshmallows
that
are great.
scene on loop.
Yeah, I think I get what Justin's saying as far as it being an accessory to the figures. I can appreciate that. For me, like what Medic I think started, I did not get the original one. But I really, 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 really liked the recent movie. And that's enough for me to drop the cash and pick this up, even though I have nowhere to put it. In fact, I messaged Justin today. I was like, I have to build on an addition to the house because we got DeLorean, and then we got this thing. We got bat wings and Jazzy. Yost is going to make a freaking TIE fighter. I mean, we got, who knows? I don't know.
But what you and Justin said, Ryan, though, it's funny that if they were to make the figures of the cast from this movie, the figures, which is predominantly what we all collect, would be considered an accessory to this, and this is the main piece.
Right. I think in this property,
In this
I think
instance,
it is.
yeah.
Because of nostalgia.
Right.
Because of nostalgia,
That
I
makes
think
sense.
it's proper. But now, Lael's got all the room in the world down there. So, are you thinking about this?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. I mean, not to take away from its, lore and how amazing this piece is.
Look, there's a little
I
RC car.
I haven't had a
shit, there
chance,
is.
right? I haven't had a chance to see this movie yet. Like literally, I haven't.
Oh, you got to watch it, dude.
I
It's
haven't
It's
So-
so
either.
fun. It is
Yeah.
a fun movie.
So I'm gonna watch it. But even still, like I mean, when I think about everything, the list of things that I already have waiting, and
He's
and
saving
that are-
room for the 89 Batwings.
So this piece right here is definitely, it's amazing. The detail on it is incredible. I love the way it looks. I mean, come on, that's pure nostalgia right there. But yeah, nah. I mean, the thing is, I gotta be smart. I really, really have to be smart, man. And this, it's just not going to work for me. But at the same time, for everybody else who's getting it and day one, then that's fine. You know what I mean? That's
Has
completely
anybody-
fine.
Does anybody here have the Blitzway original
Nope.
cast in 6 scale?
No.
No, I don't either.
J Rex, your entertainment, you're absolutely right. I am.
Although you
in
can
that
buy them for
DeLorean.
like $4,000 right now, $5,000, something like
Yeah.
that.
Seriously.
I saw a
they're
set
fun.
for when it was a couple years ago for like $1,000 and almost pulled the trigger, but
I don't know.
I
They look
can't.
really nice.
I can't focus on this one because I'm trying to hunt down a 6 scale Ernest P. Worrell.
I would highly recommend you guys if you haven't seen that film.
Jim
go watch it.
Varney,
It's
man,
a lot
come
of fun.
Yeah, I want to
It's
see
a lot
it.
of fun. It really is.
Oh, you haven't
Yeah.
seen it, Shane?
Nope. I
It's a
haven't seen
good
it.
Dude.
flick. It's. I think it's like on sale for like $9 now or something.
Dude, it is so much fun. So I wanted to jump over here just real quick. Like I don't want to spend too much time on this, but
Mhm.
the DeLorean has come out, and some people would have considered the previous version to be a Grail because it had not many were for sale, and the price went up. In fact, Mike and I we were down in Orlando. We saw one in a shop. They wanted like $2,500 for it or something like that, and which is I mean that's the market price, whatever. But I was like, that's stinking cool. But now they've got this one, and some people are salty about it, and this one, whatever. So that's just how collectors go. I think this is, I think this is stinking cool. Other than I don't really like how they dealt with the tire. This just looks weird the way the tires hang down way too low. But I don't know what, I didn't engineer it, so maybe that was their best option. I don't know. But is anybody going to be picking this guy up, or am I alone?
Nah, I'm gonna get it.
You're in on this
I
one.
will.
Yeah, I'm definitely in on this one because I mean it took me a while because at first I looked at it I was like yeah probably not, but then again I'm thinking of it yeah, for the nostalgia. Here's the only thing I'm thinking of this piece in hopes that we also get the figures again too. You know what I mean? That they do a re-release on those. Yes, re-release. I say it re-release. I'm hoping that they do the re-release on these figures because I really liked both. 1 and 2, but 2 was just simply amazing. It was cinematic excellence for its time.
Yeah.
When we talk about just just how it looked aesthetically, how it looked. So I would definitely want this piece, and then I'm also thinking about Ready Player One, you know what I mean, as well, because I love that film too. And just not even it doesn't matter what figures you have, but if you just put all these other figures, so many figures around it from video game IPs and stuff like that, it would look so amazing. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
I get that Iron Giant from Mondo.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that would be incredible.
Are those the original 6 scales of Marty and Doc, or are those teasing new ones?
These are teasing new ones. These are new ones. Yeah.
Because my plan is I want to get the DeLorean. I want to have it like up, kind of hovering in the air, and then I want to have all the different Doc and Marty pairings kind of like in a display around it from all 3 movies.
Yeah. So just real quick, like when this first dropped, I was looking at photos of this thing. And the shoes were the giveaway for me. The head sculpt looks a little different, but the shoes were the giveaway for me. So right here in this section where the Nike logo should be, on the original release, it's just white. Mm-hmm. And on this one, it's gray, at least in the photo. And there is no way there's enough shadow there to make that dark. We've got something.
Yeah.
Shoes are darker. The jacket films hugs better. I think it's a 2.0.
So you put this picture up to confirm to me that they are going to do a re-release.
No, I'm saying that's not the original figure. I'm not saying they're going to make it. I don't know.
I hope they do.
Hey, you heard it here. Stamp of approval. They're coming, folks. Right? You heard it here first.
Seamus, you got my back, bro, don't you? You got my back, don't you, Seamus? Seamus, you giving me hope, right?
If they're making the figures from Back to the Future 3, they're not going to skip these ones.
All I'm saying is I'm not saying that. I'm just saying those are different shoes. That's all I'm saying. I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I'll have, like Justin said, I'll have figures to go with my vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah. This
how's the light up going to work on this? Is it going to be like a regular Hot Toys figure where it lasts 4 seconds?
I think it's USB.
USB.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
USB connection.
I would like, and I don't know, we'll have to figure out when it's get here, but I would like to do like a magnetic hovering deal.
No, that would be dope.
Instead of this base, which the base is fine. It's an interesting way. It's from the Bat, the vehicle from the Dark Knight movies, but I don't particularly care one way or the other. I just think having it actually hover would be kind of cool.
You need to give us Biff.
Yeah,
Does that mean we get that old? I think it was like an old Buick or Chevy. I can't remember which car it was. Filled with manure with him in it.
Yeah, it was like a 54, 53, something like that. Yeah,
that's what we need. Yeah,
with the almanac.
Yeah, exactly.
Almanac and just the back seat filled with manure.
Well, you could probably do that yourself.
So there's
apparently,
Ryan, there's a way you can do that. Honestly,
yeah.
If you take 2 speakers,
if you different like collectible things.
But if you take 2 speakers, like just take 2 actual speakers that you have, you basically you can take out the filters so there's no reverb, and if you put them close to each other, it will hover. So you can do it that way.
The magnets.
Yeah, it's basically from the speakers. Like take regular speakers or big speakers that you have, take out the filters so there's no reverb like it would be if you put 2 speakers up against each other, and it'll actually hover. The problem is it has to be contained so you can because it'll fall side to side, so you have to do it a certain way where it doesn't move too much. So you can.
I don't want it to fall. That would be an expensive mistake.
Yeah. But you can.
But I'm definitely going to get that. The amount of vehicles coming inbound are a bit daunting. Some of them are going to have to go in storage because I can't display all of them. I just can't.
They said that they were going to like put a heavier emphasis on vehicles this year, and I mean, Batpod, Tumbler, DeLorean, like they're following through on that. They go radio silent on everything else. but
Well, they're falling through because other companies are taking advantage. You know,
Well,
because of
I
that,
will
they
put this
see
out
it and they're
there.
like, "Yeah, we got to do this now before."
They really
Right.
should. And I'm gonna tell you what they ought to do as far as Hot Toys goes. Whenever they announce this Batman figure, because you know they're gonna do something Batman related for the film, right?
yeah,
There's no way they skip this one. They should go ahead and tease the damn car. They should just
Yeah.
go ahead and
So we're looking at year 2 Batman. So this is what that film's about. This is going to be year 2 Batman.
Oh, I was going to
Right?
ask you about that. Yes.
Mhm.
So that's the main thing for me. Now, rumor mill, and again, this is all like these are press conferences they were putting on and questionnaires that journalists had asked. Supposedly, we're going to start seeing Court of Owls. Now, does that mean Robert Pattinson's going to be the Batman through this series? I'm curious.
Mhm.
And of course, I don't have any judgment against the movie. I'm nervous about Pattinson being Batman, but he has acting chops. I'm not worried
Mhm.
about that part, and I don't think anybody's worried about his acting chops. I think we're
Mhm.
worried about the other stuff, coming from
Mhm.
the Twilight series and a little bit more of that line. Now, I think the cinematography on this
Mhm.
looks amazing. I think the shots look amazing.
that's because it's Greg Fraser.
Yeah,
Who shot
exactly.
Rogue One.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of hype with this movie. Of course, we all want a great DC movie, but
Yeah.
year 2 Batman, there's a lot of story to move forward with,
Yeah.
and there's a great storyline. Now, this one, he's not a happy Batman. This is a pissed off Batman,
Yeah.
and I think if they don't do these figures, I think it'll be an injustice. And would I have a Rob Pattinson Batman? Probably so. I mean, I'm waiting for the movie and see how I like the movie and things like
The
that.
early
but as far as-
reactions from the London premiere
Yes,
have been
I heard about
very
that.
positive.
Yeah, and the suit itself, I think looks great. I have no questions
Mhm.
about that suit. I think it looks amazing.
Now,
and if they can
Seamus,
match that, go ahead.
real quick. So,
sir.
knowing that it's year 2,
Mhm.
we know that. Do you think if they're going off for year 2, then we know that there's a drastic change to the suit for a reason. Do you think they're going to do that? Do you think they would do that? That would be interesting if they did it in this film. But I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
I don't think we've seen the only suit that is going to be in this film.
Hmm.
I think
Well,
there'll
I
be
mean, we
another
saw
one
him
later
make it.
in.
Right,
Yeah.
you see
Yeah.
like in trailer, he's working on things, he's making his items and his weapons and belts and all that, and he's using, like, you can tell, like the gloves and the boots and things like that. He's just none of
Yeah.
this is
You
like
say make it? Is that what you said?
making it.
I thought you
Making
said
it.
naked. And I was like, I didn't see this trailer. I thought
You
that
and
was-
Brennan need to get off this. Anyways, I'm moving on. But
It's not us, man. Everything that you guys say is just
whatever.
I was like, I don't remember that from the trailer, or maybe I missed that one.
Are any of you guys getting the Prime 1 piece from this movie?
Oh. Now I'm gonna leave that to you folks that
Kevin's
have
job.
all
The third
the.
scale. Oh, I've got that
That's all
coming. I
you
can't
guys.
wait for that one.
That's all you guys.
It's-
I
it
do
looks
have a
gorgeous.
question, and for Mike, I have a question for Mike and Seamus. Is what does this movie have to do? What has to be in it for you to like it? What would make it a good Batman movie? Is there like certain plot points it needs to hit for you, or what?
You have to have a
Seamus
good
doesn't
Bruce
like
Wayne
Peacemaker,
and
we
a
know he
good
has
Batman. You have to have a
to-
good Bruce Wayne and you have to have a good Batman.
Mhm.
If you look at the history of Batman movies,
Facts.
One or the
you
other.
don't have a great Batman
Facts.
and a great Bruce Wayne.
Facts.
They're either better at one or the other.
Facts.
There's nothing more to me than to have them both.
Mhm.
And then you see the story. Like, we all know what happens.
blank.
We all know how Batman became Batman, right? And why he did it, right? Let's get away from that. Now, if the storyline's great, it's shot great, and the realism fits, then
Yeah.
to me, I'm okay with it.
Mhm.
I don't have, like, unfortunately with DC, I love their animations more than I do the live action.
Yeah.
But I'm a comic book guy, so I don't have like this super high standard for a DC movie. But in the same point, I still think it's going to come out okay. But if it blows my doors off, it's even better for me. I mean, Mike, what do you think?
Lale, you were agreeing.
Yeah, I believe it. The thing is, I think we've seen, Maya, she mentioned that, Keaton was great as both. I think the attempt was there. There were certain things, in my opinion, that kind of fell short with him being both Batman and Bruce Wayne. Even though I enjoyed it. Christian Bale, to me,
He's the closest.
He's the closest. The only thing that I hated and took me out of the film
Batman
is when he
voice.
became Batman, and it was the voice.
Yep.
It took me out of it. Like, it really took me out of it.
Yeah.
The facial expressions under that cowl took me out of it.
Oh, we
But
get that
other than that,
sculpt with the
Yeah.
Oh, God, the pucker lips, man. God.
yeah, it took me out of
God.
it. But I mean, I agree, because the thing is, there has to be a literally, it has to be a tug of war within, him being Batman and also being Bruce Wayne. There has visibly, you have to see it, because the thing is, as polished as he tries to be as Bruce Wayne, there's a lot of turmoil. You know what I mean? There's a lot of frustration. And I think that has to be displayed and conveyed on screen. Like, we have to, like Seamus said, we have to see it. And on top of that, like, this is year 2. And he's angry as F. Like, literally, we have to see that he is pulling no punches. Like, he's damn near a gray. Like, going dark. Like, literally almost going completely dark because, of everything. And this is going to be the test. This movie is going to be a huge test for me. And I'm hoping that they can pull it off. So far, the reviews have been great. But as we see, a lot of reviews can be great until you see the film, and your perception might be totally different.
It's my judgment that I worry about. I don't give a crap about anybody else's.
I like
It's my judgment.
The review embargo.
Oh, he did a good job.
Yeah, the review embargo doesn't lift until Monday. Everything that we've been hearing out of this has all been like people who were in attendance at the premiere who aren't under embargo and can say whatever they want as soon as they've seen it. And so that's where the reactions are coming. It's not like it's from the LA Times or Hollywood Reporter or anything like that. We haven't seen actual reviews. So, which I actually put more stock into the reactions of people just coming out of the theater than, actual news reviews of the films. So I'm hopeful that
the one
it's gonna be
thing
good. I'm going to see it Wednesday at 3:00 or
the
Thursday
one
at
thing
3:00.
that I'm okay, and it might just be me, but there's more to Batman. Literally, there's more to Batman than Joker. Please, I understand that. They think that you can't have one without the other. I disagree, because there's more to this character, especially his interaction with different characters, that makes him who he is. And so when I see like this headline that this particular character or this actor may be, he is in the credits as this person, I'm like, so much emphasis on wanting to just shoehorn a Joker into this film. And I'm like, it doesn't need to be. Like, can we please just stick to the narrative and do something completely different
Without that with Birds of Prey didn't work.
That's whoa. No, we're not even.
You're about to get Seamus all right.
Hell no. It didn't work. Listen, nobody wants to watch Twitter online. Okay, so let's move past that.
The one aspect of the film that I am looking forward to is the aspect that I don't think has really been appreciated in the movies. Is, again, Batman is supposed to be the world's greatest detective.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do hope that this starts kind of does a slow burn. Almost like, I hate to use this as an example, but like Seven, where he's on the heels and it builds and he uncovers more and more. And he, I don't need a whole lot of action at the beginning of the film. I want this to be a slow burn build towards some, big ending, but I want him to be following clues. I want him to be figuring out the riddles. Right. And so I just hope it's a little bit more methodical than some of the other, basically all the other films, which just kind of were action films with a little bit of detective work. I want the detective work to play a bigger role.
Well, it's Riddler, so that's what we should expect. Hopefully, because Riddler was never the tough guy, right? He was always the brains, So you don't see a lot of fist fights with Riddler, and that's where I think hopefully we do get that, because first and foremost, he's a detective, So I agree with that big time, Mike.
I'm hopeful that that's the main focus of what we're going to see in this too, is the actual, Detective Comics. Is that aspect of it, and I hope, like, obviously there, has been rumors that he, what's his name from the Eternals was cast as Joker, and that he's in the credits that they've already kind of revealed, and that he's going to be teased in this. If anything, if that turns out to be true, fine. I think he could maybe do a really cool take on the character, but my hope is he wouldn't even be the next movie. Maybe he's just barely seen or teased in this, and then maybe he's in the periphery of the next movie, and let them do something else. Don't rush into
Court of Owls.
Joker's the second movie. Yeah, do Court of Owls.
You're talking about an
give us
Avengers,
Hush.
right?
Do something like that,
What
and
MCU did with
save him for
Thanos.
later.
Mhm.
Here's the thing. I don't, and this, the one thing you saw with Marvel was like a lot of people hadn't read all the comic books, but they saw the movies, right? Can you imagine a Court of Owls, how much people's heads would explode
Oh yeah.
over a Court of Owls movie?
Yeah.
They have no idea.
You speaking
Yeah.
German to me, man. I got no idea what that is.
Exactly,
But
that's my
I'm in.
point.
I don't know.
You trust me.
If you see
fingers
it,
that will come out of it?
if you see it,
Yeah.
guarantee you it's going to force you to go back and read the books, and you'll love it even more.
I'm open to that.
Like, let
But
me
You
know.
I
would buy
only
so
have,
many figures.
I have to formally discredit Seamus though. He doesn't like Peacemaker.
Listen,
Therefore, like his opinion means nothing.
Linda in the chat said the next vehicle we should get should be the animal ambulance from Peacemaker.
How do you not like Peacemaker? Like,
I
I
don't-
am,
it's-
I am the
it's-
world's biggest DC fan. Clearly,
Oh, he's gonna come gunning for all of us in Call of Duty.
so here's the thing.
how do you
And-
not
and-
like Peacemaker?
It's too like all we see
Especially
from
the
DC.
finale, the freaking finale.
I haven't seen the finale.
Oh my god!
Dude,
I stopped
But,
watching
dude-
it. I stopped watching it.
An eagle hugs John Cena.
and you
And-
call yourself a DC fan, and you don't even
Listen.
give the decency to finish it.
You guys are going to give Seamus a
Because
coronary. This
DC
is
can't
not
even
right.
give me the decency to
Wow.
finish Swamp Thing. Why should I finish their shitty ass show?
Oh man!
Have-
I mean,
I
let's
haven't-
be honest.
I haven't even started it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing
It
is
was
like,
oh my god!
Shane, I
okay.
guarantee you, after the first episode, you're gonna be saying freedom.
yeah, there's now this. A lot of people like this show, and my problem with DC is the direction that it has been going. Not just in movies and TV shows, but in comic books. That's great, and everybody can love Peacemaker, and everybody can say, "Man, that's a great show." But again, that's great that you guys like it. I'm not. I can't. I just can't do it. And I gave it a shot. I gave it an honest shot.
That's
So-
what my point is. It was fun. In the world of chaos and craziness and just everybody bitching about everything. It was fun.
So
I get
Seamus,
that.
Seamus,
sir.
I
Yes,
give you okay. Here's two sides of it, though. This is the way I see it. I completely separated what we know about both Peacemaker and Vigilante from the comics because we know we wouldn't have actually gotten that. We wouldn't get that version live action because it'd be much darker, like literally much darker, especially with Vigilante because we know what happens to him and what route he takes.
Yeah, Adrian Chase is a completely different character in the
Yeah,
books.
and the simple fact that if I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but if you read the Vigilante comic, his one-off, his one shot, something happened. He does something that's completely shocking, and it was even for that time. So, yeah, completely dark. But I separated that because again, the Peacemaker that we got from the books is totally different from the Peacemaker that we get from this show. So I separated it. I enjoyed it. I loved it for what it was because it was just mainly fun. Like you know, I said it was fun. I mean, the intro to me was funny as hell. I just loved it. But I understand where you're actually coming from. And my thing is, I just hope, even as good as this was, I just hope they don't continue to go down that lane where everything has to be a punchline, a joke. You know what I mean? Whatever. I hope it doesn't.
Suicide Squad, Birds
Yeah.
of Prey, the
Yeah.
Harley Quinn TV show. I
Yeah.
mean, they're all
Roughly
matching
20
up to
Birds
that.
of
That's
Prey.
my.
There were no
Yeah.
jokes in Birds of Prey. No good ones.
It was
Yeah.
one big joke. That
The
was
whole
my
movie.
point. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but that's where they've been going down that path, and that, I mean, as a DC fan, it burns you out. You're just like, come on, I'll go back to the animated shows
Yeah.
and just enjoy them. You know.
Yeah, I just
So,
like I said, I just
I
don't
think
want
you
them to
should give it a
continue
shot.
to go down that line But again, I mean, with Peacemaker, they don't have a choice because they've already started it, so they can't go back and
yeah.
Yeah, the
change the
second
narrative.
season is going to be more of what we got in the first
It's
season.
what it
Yeah, I
is.
know.
You know what I mean? But the reason
That's
why
fine.
I'm gonna tell you why I enjoyed it so much, because unfortunately the Book of Boba was a letdown for me. So I had something that at least I can hold on to and say
It was a
Hey,
I
that's
palate
enjoyed
good.
it.
cleanser every Thursday
Yeah.
from what we
It was
didn't
a
like
letdown
on
for
Wednesday.
everybody. So
Yeah, it was really a letdown for me, but I
Yeah.
had to have something that kind of cleared my head from a disaster of a,
I
of a
got you.
season. But at the
That
same
makes
time,
sense.
I get where you're coming from, and I understand where you're coming from. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see, bro. We'll see.
I got
Yeah,
a hatchet
no.
ready for you, Seamus, just because you don't like Peacemaker. So.
Listen, you guys, that's fine. You can guys can stick to sticks and stones all you want. You put me in the gun game, and you all hate it. You all cry at the end of the matches. Oh my god, it's like 100. It's like 200 to like 90. What am I doing?
We're
No, it's
playing
200
nothing
to
but sticks
10.
and stones and prop hunt from now on.
I don't mind prop hunt. I think it's Mike that hates prop
Mike
hunt.
is like
Prop
Papa.
hunt.
And on that note, I'm turning
Yeah.
into a pumpkin.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this
Yeah.
up. This
Yeah.
actually went longer than I planned it, but that's fine. We had a good chat.
Ryan, before we jump off, I got a question to ask if you're going to pick something up.
Okay.
Just announced, just went up for pre-order, Kotobukiya, Kucharik Brothers,
Oh, yeah.
Cable.
Yeah, I actually had that to talk about, but I didn't want to drag this out too long. But I'll pull
It's
it
a
up.
great looking statue.
It would kind of
That's
go.
I messaged Brian. I was like, that will be mine.
It would go good with this, I think. But yeah, I'll put it
Absolutely.
up on
Plus, it's the first in a new line that the Kucharik Brothers are doing for them. So
Right.
it's gonna get companion pieces.
Yeah, well, that's the scary part is how many is it going to be like the Iron Studios Sentinel with 1,000 pieces?
I don't think so. I think there are going to be more X-Men. There's going to be a Deadpool. I think Deadpool will probably actually be next. But when I was messaging Brian, I was like, dude, you got to give me a Daredevil piece. And he was like, I got you. Like, I think they're going to do a Daredevil piece in this.
I
line,
love the
too.
base. I mean, it's Sentinel base.
It's
I mean,
great.
can't go wrong with it.
This thing, and it comes out at the end of this year too. Like it's
And
not going to be a long
it's
wait.
Not, and it's 6 scale, so it's not going to take up a ton of room.
And it fits in with, like I said, like your other 6 scale displays. So like this can if you have the other X-Men figures like that, So Toys Gambit, if
Yeah.
you've got Magneto from Sideshow and Cyclops and stuff, this is going to fit in really well with that.
And I like the proportions. I think they nailed that. Like a giant body and tiny little ant head.
Yeah, it's
And look at
definitely
the guns,
different
man.
from the Josh Brolin version that we're going
Look
to
at
get.
the guns. So
Yeah, dude.
this thing is
I jumped all over this.
It's a pricey piece for
6 scale.
6 scale statue, but the detail on this thing is insane. It's insane.
I'm all over it.
Yeah, I dig it. I like their the Magneto as well. So
Mm-hmm.
so
The Magneto
yes,
is
I don't know.
the Magneto is PCS, I think, though.
Oh, I think you're right.
Because I have that on pre-order, but that's PCS. But like the style is very similar, so it can fit with this easily enough.
Well, there you go. All right, I'm going to wrap this up, guys. It's getting late. It's past my bedtime. And
Yep.
Mike,
Good
thanks
to
for
see all
joining
you
us,
guys.
everybody.
Good
Hatchet
seeing
Man,
everybody.
cover for you. Other than that, thanks for everybody joining us tonight. Y'all have a good one. And
Pew, pew,
a
pew
Razor
tomorrow.
Crest video coming this weekend. So there you go. So we're out. See you guys.